Welcome you all. Today we'll be seeing the second part of the module 2. If you see here, what is the syllabus? The second part of the module 2 is MOSFET internal capacitance and high frequency model. So this will be the topic that we'll be discussing today. So one thing I want to explain that why we are studying the MOSFET internal capacitances now. What is the reason for analyzing the MOSFET internal capacitances now? Actually, whatever earlier model we have developed, the hybrid pi model for MOSFET and other models, there we have not considered or not taken into account the capacitive effect of the MOSFET. So what is the internal capacitive effect? So since there we are having the different terminals in the MOSFET, source, gate, drain, body, and all those things. So between all those components, all those elements, terminals, internal capacitance is there. Okay. So once you consider that capacitances, then whatever we have modeled, model our circuit, the small signal circuit model we have obtained, that is actually not what it work fine. So today, actually, we will consider some internal capacitance of the MOSFET. So we know that MOSFET do have internal capacitances. So what are the different internal capacitances of the MOSFET? We see in this class. And once we go through these internal capacitances, so based on these internal capacitances, how to modify the existing model? Okay, what things to add in your existing model to take care of your internal capacitances? Okay, so they see. So now I think that the objective of going through this topic is now clear. Now the thing is that we will see the gate capacitive effect. Gate capacitive effect. So this is actually this content is also taken from your textbook, Sudra and Smith, and it comes under section 4.8. Okay, so we can see, all of you can see here. It is just a schematic diagram of a physical schematic diagram of a MOSFET. So here we are having P type substrate and there is N type doping. Okay, one for source and one for drain. Then we are giving gate. Okay, and then oxide is there. So the construction of MOSFET is such that it will have internal capacitances. It will have internal capacitances. So now, first of all, capacitances we will take will be gate capacitance. So why it is very important? Because gate capacitance, once we know that, then all the other capacitances that we are going to see can be uh, defined in terms of gate capacitances. Okay. So gate capacitance is what is the gate capacitance? The the gate capacitance is actually the capacitances between the channel. You can see here, this is the channel. This is the channel length. Okay, this is the channel length, and here you are having a gate metal, and in between them some oxide material is there. So actually, this is acting as a two plates of the capacitor, and the inside material actually is the it's the membrane. Okay, that epsilon. It is having a permittivity constant epsilon. Okay. So for this, if you consider that for a unit area, so actually what is the definition for a capacitance? Capacitance is actually C is equal to A epsilon naught by T. Okay, epsilon naught by T. So now if your area is unit area, then capacitance will be C is equal to epsilon by T. Okay, where epsilon is the permittivity constant, and then T is the uh, thickness of the that's one oxide thickness. This thickness. So in this case, the thickness of the oxide is this one. This is the thickness. So the thickness actually this is the oxide. So in this case, the capacitance arising due to gate and the channel will be calling that as a gate capacitance. Okay, and is defined as COX, and it is defined as COX. So at the last I will show you, at the last I will tell you that is called COX, and is defined as which is equal to epsilon OX. That OX stands for oxide. Okay, because here you are having oxide, that is epsilon OX and divided by TOX. That is the thickness of oxide. That is your gate capacitive, okay, that of gate capacitance. The same thing has been written here. The gate electrode forms a parallel plate capacitor with channel. This is the gate electrode actually. This is the gate electrode you can see, and now this is the channel. So with the channel and gate electrode, actually it forms a parallel plate capacitor with the dielectric material as this oxide, whose whose permittivity constant is epsilon OX. Okay. The oxide layer acts as a capacitor dielectric. So already explained that oxide layer here will be acting as a capacitor dielectric, and COX is the representation of the capacitances. So this is the representation of the capacitance, the gate electrode capacitances, okay, per unit area, per unit area. Now this is the gate oxide capacitance. Now the other thing is that we'll be saying the source body and drain body depletion layer capacitance. So now see, as I told you that we are having different terminals in the MOSFET. For example, we are having source, we are having drain, we are having gate, we are having body, okay, all those things. So in between them, due to that, there will be some internal capacitances. So now see, first we will see source body capacitances and drain body capacitances. You can see this is the source terminal, this is the drain terminal, this is the base terminal, body terminal. Okay, so the capacitances between this one, source and body, is called a source body capacitance and is represented at CSB. See here, this resistance is represented as CSB, source body capacitance. Okay. Similarly, there is a resistance between drain terminal and body terminal, and this is called as drain body capacitance, and this is represented as CDB, which is represented as CDB. It's clear from there. Okay. These three capacitance we have seen. Now other resistance capacitances also are there. So in total, actually, if you will see the MOSFET in total, there are 5 capacitances between 4 terminals. So 4 terminals are gate, drain, source, and body. Okay. So now also we have seen CSB and CDB just now. CSB and CDB. This is the capacitance between source and body. CSB is the capacitance between source and body. CDB is the capacitance between drain and body. Here, this is the capacitance between drain and body, and this is the capacitance between source and body. So no doubt here. Now, what is CGS? CGS. CGS between gate to source. From gate to source. So now here gate terminal is there. So now between gate to source terminal also, the one internal capacitance is there. Okay, one can feel the existence of internal capacitance. That capacitance is called the gate to source capacitance. Similarly, we'll have gate to drain capacitance. Okay, that is called. So that is gate to source capacitance, okay, between gate and source. Then CG, which is represented as CGS. Now then we'll have another capacitance between gate and drain. Between gate and drain. Between gate and drain, we'll have capacitances. This terminal and this capacitance is represented as CGD. Clear? Now gate to body also. Gate to body. So this is the So this is gate to body. This is actually gate to body we have seen just seen. This is gate to body and it's called this gate to body is called this one people COX. Okay, this is gate to body resistance. We have just seen that is represented as COX. That's called gate of capacitive gate or oxide capacitance. Okay, gate or oxide capacitance. So this CGB is between gate and body. Between gate and body, that is represented as C vector also. So we have seen all these all those these 5 capacitances. Out of these 5 capacitances, CGS, CGD, and CGB. That is capacitance between gate to source, and capacitance between gate to drain, and the capacitance between gate and body. So that is just that is due to the gate capacitive effect. That we will be analyzing these capacitances under the gate capacitive effect. Now another these two capacitances, CSB and CDB is actually, it will be a kind of junction capacitance. Okay, this is a kind of junction capacitance here. Junction capacitance we will see later. So now first see gate capacitance, capacitive effect. So gate capacitive effect. So now, as we know that MOSFET can operate in three modes. MOSFET can operate in three modes. So if you'll see the characteristic input-output characteristic of a MOSFET, this is a VDS, and this is the ID, this is a drain current, this is a VDS voltage. So whenever in this range, for example, if we are applying a VDS, and also if VDS is such that it is less than or equal to VGS minus VT. So what is VGS? VGS is gate to source voltage, and what is VT? VT is threshold voltage. Overall, what is this term called? This term is called override voltage. Okay. So whenever VDS is less than or greater, less than or equal to VGS into minus VT, then in that condition, your MOSFET will work as a in a linear region or active region, or we can also call it triode region. So in your book, it is given triode region. Okay, this is called triode region. So for triode region, C, we can say that since it is in triode region, the CGS, the gate to source and gate to drain. So the gate to the CGS between gate and source, between gate and drain. So gate and this is a gate and source and gate and drain. Actually, from the construction of a MOSFET, we can say that since this the construction of this left hand side is almost similar to right hand side, so the capacitance of this gate to source will be will be equal to the capacitance of capacitance between gate to drain. That has been considered here. Okay, so CGS is equal to CGD. So in which region? In triode region. So you should be remembering. See, you may have numericals based on this topic to find the CGS and all those type of internal capacitances. So there in the question they will mention in which region the MOSFET is operating. So based on that region, you have to use different relation. Now that now in triode region, that is in this region. Okay, in this region, CGS, that is capacitance between gate and source, is equal to the capacitance between gate to drain, that is CGD, which is equal to half WLCOX, half WLCOX. So this relation, what you're getting here, you should be, at this point of time, you need to know it. You don't need to have the derivation of this one. Okay, just you should be knowing that this is the gate to the capacitance between gate and source, or capacitance between gate and the drain. In the examination, will not have any derivation. It is beyond your scope. Okay, so that is equal to half WLCOX. So what is WL? W is the width of the channel. W should be knowing. W is the width of the channel, L is the length of the channel, and COX is the oxide capacitance or gate capacitance. I have told you. Okay, so in this triode region, you will have CGS is equal to CGD is equal to half WLCOX. Now coming to saturation region. In saturation region, in saturation region, actually your VDS is greater than equal to VGS minus VT. If you are having that condition, then that your MOSFET will operate in a saturation region. So in this case, the gate to source voltage, that is between uh, the capacitance between gate to source. Okay, so the capacitance between gate to source here, gate to source, capacitance between gate to source will be 2 by 3 WLCOX. The capacitance between gate to source will be the capacitance between gate and source will be 2 by 3 into W into L into COX, where the W is the width length, and width of the channel, L is the length of the channel, and COX the capacitance or side capacitance. But CDGD will be zero, because we know that there will be pinch off. Okay, so here you will have some this one some dielectric material will be there, but some width will be there. But here there will be no width. Okay, so the thing is that it will be pinched off. So channel is pinched off at the drain. As a result, since the channel is pinched off at the drain in saturation region, the value of CGD will be zero. The value of the capacitance between gate to drain will be zero, but for the capacitance for gate between gate and source will be 2 by 3 into W into L into COX. Now again, I'm telling that you need not to derive all this relation. You should just be knowing. Okay. Now the third is when the MOSFET is in cutoff of mode. So cutoff. You know, now when VGS applied is less than VT, that it will be act as off. It won't work. Okay, so it will not have any sufficient voltage. So then that mode it will work as a cutoff in a cutoff region. So in that case, we both CGS and CGT. In that case, both CGS and CGT will be zero, but CGB. So what is CGB? So this one, the CGB. Okay, that is the capacity between the gate and body. CGB will be equal to W, and will be equal to W into L into COX. That is W into L into COX. So COX actually is a constant, will be a constant for a particular MOSFET. So now W and L will depend on the board supply, that VGS and all those things, because channel length, when you will change the supply voltage or basic voltage or anything other thing, as a result what will happen, there will be a change in the length of the channel, okay, or width of the channel, but COX will remain constant. Okay, so CX actually told is the gate capacitance or oxide capacitance, whose value is EOX divided by TOX. Okay, so in that case, when the MOSFET is in cutoff region, and then in that case the CGB is given as omega ln into COX. So now we have seen the this different CGS, CGD, and CGB of the MOSFET in different operating condition. This topic is actually also covered in your textbook, gate capacitive effect, and under section 4.8.1. It's a brightness split. Okay. So we have seen now one more term is there. There is one additional capacitance also. So additional small capacitive component should be added to CGS and CGD in all the previous equation. Okay. So now we have seen the value of CGS and CDA in all the three situations where it's working in a triode region or saturation region in a cutoff region. But whatever equation we have seen, or this equation where we have see this equation or these equations or these equations. So in this equation, you need to add a small capacitive component. Okay, the two CGS and CGD. Okay, whenever you will have CGD and CGS in all these relations, you need to add one more small capacitive component. Okay, so why there is a need to add this small capacitive component, and what is its value? We'll see here. The thing is that if you will properly see the construction of this one MOSFET physical construction, here you can see channel length is one. Actually, this one is channel length is here to have is L. Okay, here to here is L. But effectively, if you see the channel length, there is overlap. There is a overlap between here to here. There is a overlap here also at source, and okay, and in drain side also there is a overlap. So due to that also, the channel length will get increased, and also it will add to the capacitance. Okay. So what is that value now? The reason is clear. So source and drain diffusion extended slightly under the gate oxide, that I have already explained. So that LOV is actually the overlap length. So LOV here is the overlap length, channel length, and COV. So due to this LOV, you will have the capacitance due to this overlap. That is called the COV. That is called overlap capacitance, whose value is given as COV is equal to W into LOV into COX. And W will which will remain same with the length of the but the length of the channel is having some overlap component. Due to that, you will have COV. Okay, so that COV will be added to CGS and CGD in all the previous relations using this relation. Okay. Typically, for the MOSFET LOV, the overlap length varies from 0.05 to zero point 0.1 of L. Okay, whatever channel length you are having, of that channel length, the LOB is 0.05 times L to 0.1 times L. Okay, this is your channel. So we have seen there's three resistances, capacitances, CGS, CGD, and CGB. Now, another capacitance that is a source to body. Okay, source to body capacitance, and then this is actually junction capacitance, and then we are having also drain body capacitances, drain to body capacitances. So source to body capacitance CSB is defined as, or is given as, CSB naught divided by root under 1 plus BSB divided by B naught. So this is actually again a relation that you need to know. Just you need to know and understand. No need of derivation or learning how to derive this equation. Okay, you have to need it. You have to learn it, understand it, and use in the numericals. That is your requirement. Okay. So now let's see what are the different components of the right hand side. CSB naught. So CSB naught is actually value of CSB at zero body source bias. So this BSB is actually body source bias voltage. So body source voltage, bias voltage. So when you will put this value 0, as a result, you will have CSB. So whenever you will put BSB as 0, for that this term will be CSB naught. Okay. So CSB naught is that value of CSB where we will substitute BSB by 0. Okay, there will be a 0 biasing voltage. So that value is the CSB naught. Okay, that is your CSB naught. Clear? VSB is the reverse biasing voltage of the MOSFET. VSB, B naught is the junction built-in voltage. V naught actually the junction built-in voltage is a constant. It will be given to you, and it varies from 0.6 to 0.8 volt. Clear? Now comes to drain body capacitance. Drain body capacitance. So this is written as CDB, drain body capacitance. So you can see drain and body capacitance. Source and body we have seen. Now there is the capacitance between drain and body. Okay. So that value is given as CDB naught, okay, CDB naught divided by root under 1 plus VDB divided by V naught. Now, what is the CDB naught? The CDB naught is actually capacitance value at zero reverse bias voltage. This is your reverse bias voltage. So when it becomes 0, for that particular whatever value of CDB you are getting, that is actually CDB naught. This is their CDB naught. Okay. And VDB actually I already told the reverse biasing voltage, and V naught is again the junction built-in voltage, whose value varies from 0.6 to 0.84. Clear? So any doubt you are having? So on the high frequency MOSFET model. So whatever model we have just seen, and not just seen, previously we have seen in chapter in module 1. Okay, some queries. Okay, I'll deal with the queries. Let me finish this topic, then I will deal with the other problems. So there we are having hybrid pi model for a MOSFET circuit. Okay, so there what we are not having. If you will analyze this circuit, that circuit, just see that part was not there. Okay, so you are having gate terminal, okay, it is coming like this. From gate to and source there is the open circuit. Gate to source was the open circuit. Then again a source, a drain, you are having a drain terminal and drain and source, where you are having a current was following GM into VGS. So that hybrid pi model you are having. Okay, and this and all these terms were not there. This was also not there. This capacitance will also was not there. Okay, so you already know those things. Now in that model, now we have to consider the effect of the capacitor. We have to consider the effect of capacitor. Now since we know that internal capacitance exists between gate and source terminal, so earlier in that small signal equivalent pi model, this terminal was open circuit, but now this has been connected using a capacitance CGS, okay, between gate and source. You can see that the suffix of this capacitor is very easy. Is the terminal that is joining is it represents that capacitance. Okay, it represents that capacitance. So here, since this terminal was earlier open, but now since capacitance CGS exists in them, you know that. So we'll add this one capacitance between terminal G and S. It is done. Again, G and D terminal also in earlier, if you will see the hybrid model, the G terminal and D terminal also, this part was not there. It was open circuit. The connection was not there. But we know that now that capacitance exists between gate terminal and drain terminal. So we have connected that capacitance between those terminals G and D. Okay, here like this. And the current this GM into VGS is the same thing from the earlier model only. It was available. Now again, one capacitance was there, CSB. Okay, one capacitance was there, CSB here. That is the between the source and body, This is the source actually. This is the source terminal, and this is the body terminal of the MOSFET. So this is the we have connected between source and body. Similarly, another resistance is there, CDB between drain and body. That has been connected here. Now this is the high frequency equivalent circuit model for a MOSFET. So we have converted the hybrid pi model that is actually valid for low frequency or some cutoff in less frequency. Now that has been, by considering the different capacitance among the terminals, we have modified that model to a high frequency circuit model for a MOSFET. Okay. So now, as a result, if you will have at this base, whenever you will have this body and substrate, the body, due to body, this terminal also, this body and the source is not connected, so you will have this current term also, GMB. This is transaction between GMB into VBS also. Okay, but in most of the cases, or in all the cases, what we have done, we have shorted the body and S. Okay, the body and S terminal of the MOSFET. If you will go to the notes of module 1 or in the class, I would have explained that in actuality we are having the 4 terminals of a MOSFET, but for application purpose we short this B and C. So now what will happen if we short B terminal and S terminal? Then what will be the effect on this overall the circuit model? So see, once B and S is shorted, if you will short B and S terminal, now whether CSB is having any work, there will be no work. It is useless. Okay, because the alternate path is there. Because CSB will have some reactance, and other path is available between B and S here, which will take that path. So CSB is actually useless. So if we short B and S terminal, then we can remove CSB, clear, and also we can remove this current. Okay, this current. Okay, because there will be no current this one. Okay, clear. Now here, if you will see, in modifying this high frequency circuit equivalent model for MOSFET, we are only using CGD, CGS, CSB, and CDB. Okay, so actually we have studied 5, but we are using only 4 capacitance. Okay, you should be paying attention to that. Now again, if we'll further remove that, we will then we will have only two capacitances. Okay, that is since here this what is representing as, but it would because but B, both B terminal and S terminal is sorted here. So now what will happen? CASB also got removed. So now the model is represented by using three capacitance only, that is CGS, CGD, and CDB. So this is actually equivalent high frequency model for MOSFET when man body and source terminal is shorted, and this is actually the thing we are interested in. Okay, in most of the cases CDB will be can be neglected. Most of the cases the capacitance is that it can be neglected. So when you will neglect that, then again this network term will also be not there. Okay, so now this is your final high frequency equivalent circuit model. So this is same. If you will see that, if you compare that previous model and this model, it is same only. But the thing is that here, since they are earlier in the hybrid pi model, where we are not considering the internal capacitive effects, there the gate, there is no connection between gate and drain, and there is no connection between gate and source. But now that connection is there, and that connection that connection is actually by using the capacitance, internal capacitances. Here we are considering between CGD, and here we are considering the connection by CGS. That is the main difference. Okay. So clear? Any doubt?